I always like it when people say happy hump day, just because it's one of those thoughts in my mind. I'm like, I've started off the week. I'm excited. I've made all these goals. I'm hitting like that pinnacle of the week, and I'm going to start closing out my goals. So we're going to do a lot of really fun stuff today that I know will bring you results. But I got to tell you, there are 2 times in my plexus life it's that I've had these moments where I'm like, what? God, are you sure about that? One of them was my very first Super Saturday. I get this email that says, hey, we would love for you to do Super Saturday with Kristen Abart. And I was like, what? I thought, oh, that's not intimidating at all. And it ended up being such a great growing experience. And I learned so much, and we've had a friendship ever since. And then the second was when they said, hey, we'd like for you to do the Jewel breakout with Jessica Hefley. And I was like, and we end up on the phone. And I think we both were in the same mindset where we wanted to teach specifically on these basically heart cries that we had at the time, just something that was very personal for us that we knew likely other people would relate to. So anyhow, I'm just thrilled and excited that she's here to share with us and get us inspired, not tired before we work. So I'm going to mute. Thank you again, Jessica.
Hey, okay, well, let's hop in. Thank you, Jennifer. Like, that really was like, we got to do Jewel training together. Such an honor. Okay, we don't have time to talk about that. Anyways, love you. Okay, so let's get into it, because I only got 10 minutes and then y'all are going to get to work. So I wanted to start off by saying, when is the last time that you expected good things to happen in your business? Like, I know sometimes there can be emotions around power hours or reaching goals, and where it's like this desperation of, I'm not going to get this. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants plexus. Everybody thinks this. And that's, so you see what you expect. Like, you meet your business with resistance, your work hours you try to avoid, you're getting a lot of no's. What if instead you expect people to say yes? You expect to get to that next success sprint goal. You expect that every month you will add at least 3 new people to this business. And just that small expectation, or just that not expectation, I like the word expectancy more. Like, it seems exciting, it seems lighter, it seems more enjoyable, more purposeful to have that expectancy. When I was thinking about these things years ago, when I first started, there was an old training video Jewel had talked about. Typically, does not have to be how it is, but she said typically to get to Emerald, a good goal would be to try to find 40 level 1s through your entire journey to get to Emerald. And me being a goal person, I was like, okay, she said that's my goal. But I wanted to encourage you to have, in the last couple of years, I've worked my business way different, way more purposeful. So what if you put up 40 sticky notes on your wall? Or if this month your goal is to add 3, you put up 3 blank sticky notes on your wall, and you looked at those and you prayed over those, and you expected those to come, and you operated from a place of, those people have been prayed for. I literally pray now to be an answer to somebody else's prayer through plexus, because plexus without a doubt was the answer to my prayer to make money from home. I mean, it totally was. I know a lot of people join for the products. I was desperate to be able to stay home with my son and provide for our family. And so I wanted to make money. And so when is the last time you prayed to be the answer for someone's prayer like mine? Like, that was a desperate cry that I cried and prayed for years. And so I'm so grateful. And so when you view things like that, when you have prayed for you to be the answer for somebody else, the answer to somebody else's prayer, you just work your business different. You understand when a name pops in your head, maybe that's not a coincidence. Maybe that I am supposed to reach out to that person. Or when you're scrolling Facebook while you're on the toilet and you see your friend from church who is really struggling with allergies right now. Maybe it's not a coincidence that you saw that particular post. So it just feels so much freer and lighter than how I used to work my business. Just even this year, like, I had, like, one example of how to tweak this real quick is, like, I'd like to go to Paris and I'm not a shoo-in, and it's not going to be a for sure thing, but I printed out a picture of Paris, and it's hanging on my fridge. I've got a little Eiffel Tower figurine, and it's sitting on my desk. And I started to write in my journal each day, earning Paris with Plexus was so fun. Like I talk about it as if it's already happened. And so you can do that with, maybe you're going for silver, maybe you're going for ruby, maybe you're going for that MacBook on the Success Prince. Talk to yourself as if it's already happened. Expect for that to happen, and look how that you'll show up differently in your business. And so as you guys are about to go and do your work hours, just have that in mind. Also, it also is so helpful to be crystal clear on your mission and on your focus. Okay, I'm learning this. I did this in my Instagram stories last night I'm reading this book. I think it's called When to Walk Away or something. It talks about how to handle toxic people, but it gives this reference of even Jesus, the most perfect person who ever walked the earth. Okay, people didn't like him. People misunderstood him. People were angry at him. People accused him of things that weren't true. And so if you think of all those things for literally a person who made no mistakes, then it absolutely is going to happen for you. But when you know that Plexus helps people, that Plexus changes lives, the health testimony of you, go read health testimonies on your team page. When you know, and you have your focus crystal clear, I'm going to take the guesswork out of it. You're going to be misunderstood. So maybe me telling you that up front hopefully makes it hurt less because when we stay focused on what our mission is, it's okay if we're misunderstood because we aren't agreeing with that. I'm not coming into the agreement if someone thinks I'm only about money, or someone thinks that I'm selfish, or that network marketing is superior. Like, that's just not true. It's just not true. And so I can choose to not agree with those things. Remember my focus. Remember that I'm praying to be an answer for somebody's prayer, somebody else who has been praying for their health or for their finances, and for God to use me to provide that for them. Then I got to keep doing my thing. I'm being misunderstood. Oh, well, I got to keep doing my thing. And so y'all keep doing your thing. Keep doing the thing that you've been called to do. Keep bringing freedom that you can provide for people, and don't let other things walk away. Like in this book, it also talks about just good boundaries. Like when someone misunderstood them, you walked away. You didn't have to try to convince them. You didn't have to stick up for yourself. You didn't have to let anybody bully you. You just walk away. Keep doing your father's business. Keep doing your business. Keep doing what you're called to do. So one last thing. Sometimes people need a nudge. And so as we're following up, we're still in there's I don't know, 5 days left, 5-6 days left of this $1 enrollments. Okay. It is the time for the nudge. It is the time. Loving people is to love people is to lead people. Some people forget this. To love people is to lead people. And I talked about this on the other day on Plexus Ambassador Community, because you guys have hearts of gold. You guys genuinely want to change people's lives. Like, you really do. And I believe you. Like, I believe that you do. And newsflash, you're not changing anybody's life if you're not helping them get started. And so, Best of Intention. I hate that song. It's Willie Nelson. Oh, we love Willie Nelson, but it's that one song that's like, you were always on my mind, but he never told her. You know what I'm talking about? That song? Like, he was always like, he goes on and on and on about how he thought about her, all these things, but he never told her. And I was like, then you did not love her, because she did not know, and you did not tell her. Like, it makes me literally angry, that stupid song. And anyways, I get way too overly emotional about that song, but it goes down to the same thing. Like, you may say you love people, you care about people, you really want to see them well, you really want to see them have financial freedom. But if you're not doing that extra nudge, that reminder, that follow, hey sister, I don't want you to miss this $1 sign up. And I don't even talk about the dollar. Like, what's $1? I'm just like, hey girl, you like the welcome packs are ridiculously cheap. I don't want you to miss this right now. Or, I know that you've been thinking about this. I really believe this is going to help you. Okay. They need the nudge. They need to borrow somebody else's belief, and confidence is contagious. Confidence and belief is contagious, and we're in a world filled with fear right now. And so they need to borrow some of your belief. They need to borrow some of your confidence. And so remember your focus as you are following up. Do not let this dollar signups pass you by. Like, these are so rare. And so these are excellent opportunities to put in the extra work, to put in the extra focus, to put in the extra love, nudge them to get them started, which will change their life.
See what I'm saying, y'all? It's ridiculous. Like, every time she talks. And then I'll tell you something, the more I watch Jessica, the more it makes me want to invest in myself. So I remember when she first, I could tell something was changing in her, and I was more attracted to watching her. And then I couldn't stop watching her. And so what I'm encouraging you guys to do is, she doesn't have any different skills than you have. Like, you could read the same things, listen to the same things, grow in the same ways. It's just a matter of taking the time to do it. And so I would say the payoff for that is enormous. So I appreciate you, Jessica, just being that example. And I appreciate that you make it accessible for everybody to learn to be brave. So best thing ever. I'll post this recording right afterwards, but we're going to get to work. Jessica, thank you. Have a great hump day. See ya.
Yeah.
All right. Seriously, guys, I cannot. And it's funny because I don't know if this is like a sickness for you, but sometimes when people are amazing, it makes me go weird and insecure. I'll be like, oh, why don't I say that kind of stuff? Like, I'll just act weird, but she doesn't do that to me. I'm all like, oh, that was so good. Like, it feels like it's mine. Like, I feel like she gave it to me and it's mine. I can do something with it, versus I feel less than her. Anyhow, I digress. So yesterday I made a post, and I want you guys to all make your own and do the same post. And here's why. I made this post. I hate doing it sometimes because it seems a little salesy, but daggone if it doesn't work. I've already signed up 3 people from the same post, and I'm like, this is the least complex, least interesting post ever. However, everyone's like, oh, sign me up. I'm like, okay. So anyhow, go and look at my post. All you have to do is go on Facebook and take the wording, maybe zhuzh it up a little bit, and then go take a picture. I stood in front of my bedroom window because it faces the light. I took my phone and like stuck it in the window, put the timer on, and took like 42 pictures of like, until I got like the one, and then just posted it. And I was done. I thought that nothing's going to happen. I'm going to have to delete this post, and daggone it if it didn't work. So that's what we're doing first. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do, it's almost just like what Jessica talked about with the sticky notes. Because we only have 5 days left of the dollar wholesale enrollment. And by the way, if some of you guys are stuck in this rut of, I only signed someone up to be an ambassador if they tell me that they're going to commit to 90 days, if they tell me that they're going to work the business, then I have to say to you, would you buy a house if someone just gave you the MLS and wouldn't let you go look at it? Like, would you be like, yep, I'm going to buy it? Like, you wouldn't do that, right? You would want to go and look at it, but you can't look at it until you get with the realtor. Same idea. You get them in the door and then you let them start looking around, and we slowly nudge them into doing business building activities. It's all part of the process, is all I'm saying. So anyways, I want you to make a master list of the people that you really feel like you're far enough in the conversation that you can try to close with them by the 15th. So I made a master list. I took it away from my big book of list. I just have the one. I'm like, I'm just going to laser in on these people. I put 10 people's names down. I feel really good about being close to that. That's what you're going to do. Make your master list. If you want to put it on your wall, put it on your wall. If you want to do individual sticky notes, like Jessica said, but go ahead and grab those 10 names. If you're like, Jen, I don't have a list, then get to working. Like, seriously, get out your Facebook friend list and start writing down every person that you know you haven't signed up for Plexus yet. Okay, so now you have your master list, and we're going to work through messaging, relationship reach outs, being intentional with going to comment on their stories. We're going to do all of that. But let me tell you, be working on this too. I want to go to your wellness community. That's that Facebook group there. That's our testimony group. And what I want is, it would be so ideal if, I mean, there's 56 of you on here. If each one of you put a testimony post of yourself on there first, so you would just use that format. I used to struggle with, I always go to toes. I used to struggle with foot fungus, nail fungus, and face fungus. And once I started using the Slim, the ProBio 5, and the BioCleanse, I now feel fungus free. And like, I would use a picture and I would put it on your wellness community. You don't have to do the whole shoot and match. Like, I had an ovary pain and my knee used to crack. Like, don't worry about doing everything. Just quick. Then if we have all of these testimonies that are fresh and new, then you're going to go and add people to that group. So when they get on there, they're like, gosh, because it's fresh and new. It sees the date and sees these aren't like 4-year-old testimonies. This is like for real today. So that's the next step. Okay, so I'm going to give something to finish out that last 10 minutes. You probably are still working through that master list. And when I say working through it, here's what I want you to think of. How would you want to be treated? Would you want to feel like a person on a list, like a piece of plexus meat, or would you want to feel like the person was trying to just keep that relationship up? So for me, and you got to do what makes sense for you, but I save ridiculously silly little memes, like silly things. Like I thought I tried to choose abs, but I ended up choosing pizza, like something silly like that. And I'll send it to one of the people that I'm keeping that relationship up with and say, I saw this. It made me laugh. I wanted to make you laugh. I hope you're having a good day. Simple. Or it might be a scripture. Maybe you want to be more serious. Maybe you want to send them a recipe that you just used and say, I don't know about you, but I always run out of ideas for meals. And I just came up with this one and I thought I'd share it with a few of my friends that I know love to cook. I mean, it sounds like that's not helping you move it forward, but I promise you it is. You are actually building trust. You're filling the trust tank so that when eventually they say yes, they don't feel like the only thing you're interested in them for is the sale. You don't want that. So that's what I would work on. And the last thing I was going to tell you guys to do is to do bump your chats. If you have any chats that you're in with anyone on your team, if you run them yourself or if you're in it just with an upline, go and bump that chat. Be a light in the chat. Go and say, hope you guys are having a good Wednesday. I'm excited because I have my list of 10 people I'm going to try to work on by the time the special ends. Or anybody else doing the same thing? Be a light, be a leader, go and bump the chats. Okay, I'm wrapping it up, and I was going to tell you guys who we have coming up next week. Give me just a second. I have a little graphic here. So next Monday is Amy Paul. And then Wednesday is Emily Roberts. Both of those are diamonds. And then for our business training next Monday night, we're doing Crucial Conversations. And that's with Diamond Breanne Coolidge and Emerald Ali Sullivan. So make sure that's on your calendar. And then don't forget, guys, this is our last month for this quarter's success sprint. And just like Jessica said, just go ahead and have the expectancy that you're going to earn something. And then know that it's only going to get better each quarter when they learn and grow and figure out what works and what doesn't work. So I'm excited about that too. You guys have a great rest of your hump day.